Hello everyone and welcome back to English with Lucy. Today I'm going to talk to you about 5 things that you can practice every single day to improve your English. Learning a language, learning to play musical instrument. You can just pick up a violin and know how to play it.
Or at least I didn't when I learnt the violin.
Or at least I did when I learned the violin.
You have to practice a little
You have to practice a little bit
bit every single day.
every
And over
single
time, you
another
will
time. You will
improve and become
improve and become
fluent.
fluent.
You can't just practice loads
You can just practice low
the
the
day
day
before an
before
exam
an
and
exam
expect to be perfect at playing
and expect to be perfect at
that
playing the
violin.
violin.
It's exactly the same for languages.
It's exactly the same for languages.
The best way to learn
The
a
best way
language
to learn a language
is to practice
is
a
to
little
practice
bit
a
every
little
single
bit
day.
every
And
single
in
day.
this lesson, I'm going to give you
And in this lesson, I'm going to give you
5 different
5
ways
different
that you
ways
can incorporate
that you can
English
improve English
or any other language
or any other language
into your daily life.
in your daily
I
life.
think that quite a few of these
I think that's quite a few of these
you won't have heard before.
you would have heard before.
So
So let's
let's get straight into
stress
it.
into it.
Number 1,
Number 1.
and I am so excited to be able to mention
And I am so excited to be able to mention
one of my favorite things to listen to ever
one of my favorite things to listen to ever on my channel.
My first piece of advice is to follow an audio soap opera.
My first piece of advice is to follow an audio soap opera.
What is a soap opera?
What is an opera?
I
heard
hear you ask.
you are.
Well, I shall tell you.
Well, I shall tell you.
A soap opera is
A soap opera is a
daily
daily
series dealing
of series dealing
with
with
the
the
daily
daily
lives and
life
events of
and event
the
of the
same
same
group of
group
characters,
of characters,
normally in the same
normally in the same
location.
location.
Most commonly, they are
More commonly, they are on
television. We
television.
have lots in the UK, like EastEnders,
We have lots in the UK like EastEnders,
Coronation Street,
Connection Street,
Emmerdale.
and Model.
I'm recommending you listen to an audio one.
But I'm recommending you listen to an audio one.
And there's one in particular I would like to recommend.
And the one in particular I would like to recommend.
I really
really recommend
a radio
a
soap
radio
opera
soap
by the
opera
BBC Radio
by BBC Radio 4
called The Archers.
called The Archers.
The Archers.
The
The
Archers.
Archers.
The
It's
Archers.
special for so
It's
many reasons,
special for so many reasons,
not least because
not
it
least
is
because
the
it is
longest
the longest
running
running drama in
in history. It was
history.
started in 1950.
It was started in
It
1950,
first
first
aired in
aired in
1951. And
1951,
also because I think it is absolutely
and also because I think it's absolutely
perfect
for English
It
learners.
follows the
It
daily
follows the
lives and
daily
dramas
life and drama of
of a group of
a group of
fictional
fictional
characters
character in the fictional countryside
countryside
village
village of
Abridged.
Each
Each episode is around
around 12 to
12
14
to
minutes
40 minutes
long. I'm
long.
not quite sure exactly
I'm not quite sure exactly
how
how
long,
long,
but it's definitely under 50
but it's definitely under 50
minutes.
minutes.
It's spoken in relative
It's spoken in relative
clear
clear
English in a
English
variety of British accents.
in firstly a British accents
And sometimes not British accents as well,
and sometimes not British accents as well.
other accents.
Other
But
accents,
it's fantastic because the plot
but it's fantastic because the plot
summaries are posted on the
summarizes
BBC
a podcast on the BBC website.
website. I will link to all of this below in the description box.
I will link all the opposites below in the expression box.
And the great thing about this
And the great thing about this
is that it deals with daily
is the idea with daily
happenings, which
happenings,
is great for your life,
which is great for the life too.
current events,
Current events,
routine
things,
and you can repeat all of the parts
and you can repeat all of
that
the
you
past
missed. It's on
you
every
need.
single day,
It's on every single day.
apart from Saturday.
Apart from Saturday,
They have a rest.
they have a rest.
And once a week, they condense all of the week's episode into
And once a week, say considers an hour of the week
into one,
is
and that's called an omnibus.
into one, just called an omnibus,
And that's around 75 minutes long.
and that's around 75 minutes long.
I love listening
I
to the
love
Archers
listening
when I go
to the Archer when I go running.
I listen to it every single day.
I listen to every single day.
And if I miss one, then I always catch up.
And if I miss one, and I always catch up.
There is no beginning and there is no finish to the series.
There is no beginning and there is no finish to the series.
There aren't any seasons.
There are any seasons.
So it might take you a couple of episodes
your couples of
to get
used to the storylines and to work out
who is who and to
who in who
recognize the different voices
and to recognize the different voices.
Give it 5 or 6 episodes and you'll feel really
and you feel really included.
It's wonderful because it's free.
It's wonderful because it's free to listen to.
It's beautifully
produced.
And there is a huge community of art.
And there are a community of actors, fans.
A lot of them are old.
A lot of them are older,
but a lot of them are younger.
But a lot of them they are younger too.
And if you search the Archers on Twitter,
and you search hashtag the Archers on Twitter. Big tip here.
You'll see lots of people.
You see lots of people
talking and
discussing
topics of
the topic of the episode.
And maybe you could
and maybe can you
interact with them. So
interacting the current.
So I'm going to leave the links for the art.
So I'm going to list link for the actors
and also the plot
and also the plot summaries
in the description box.
In the description box.
And I really hope some of you take
opportunity unprecedented to listen to a
daily English audio soap opera. 10 to 15 minutes.
10-15 minutes.
Every day is definitely going to help your listening.
Every day is definitely gonna help.
Your listening is going to help your
pronunciation.
It's just going to help your general enjoyment as well.
And just gonna help your general enjoyment as well.
It's a great program.
Because it's great program.
Right. Before I get too passionate.
I get to personalness.
Let's move on to piece of advice number
Let's move it to piece of advice number 2.
number two is talk
Number 2 is talk
daily
daily
with
with
natives.
natives.
Now, I bet so many of
Now I bet so many
you are
of you are
I
thinking,
wish
I wish
I would love to talk to
I would love to
natives
to
every
talk native
day, but
every
I
day,
don't know
but I don't know how,
how, and no one seems to want to talk
and no one seems to want to talk
to
to
me.
me.
Well, I have a
Well, I
couple
have
of
a couple
suggestions.
suggestions.
One is
One is paid
paid for, and one
for anyone
is
is
free.
free.
And the best thing,
And the best thing,
in my opinion, would
in
be
my
a combination
opinion, would be
of
combination of the two.
italki have very
Italki have very
kindly
kindly
sponsored this part of the
sponsored this part of
video,
video,
and mentioning them is absolutely relevant
and maintaining some strawberry relevant for
at
this
this
point,
especially
especially of
they offer a
the
language
effort
exchange
a language exchange
partner
partner
service, which
server,
I will mention in a
which
second.
I will mention a second.
But firstly, if you haven't
But firstly, if I have heard
heard of italki
of Italki
before,
before,
they are an online language teacher platform
they are an online language teacher platform
and database.
and
Both
database
native
for native
and non-native
and non-native
teachers
teachers
from across the globe
from across the
can
global can create
create a profile,
a profile
upload their
for literature,
schedules, and then you can contact them for lessons.
and then you contact some for lessons,
Brilliantly
brilliantly
priced lessons,
lessons,
may I add.
may I add.
You can learn over 100 different languages,
You can learn over 100 different languages,
not just English,
not just English,
24 hours
24 a day,
a day, 7
7
days a
day a
week,
week,
from
for
anywhere
any
in the
in the
world,
world,
as long as you have a stable
as long
internet
as you have a stable
connection.
internet connection.
It's so much
It's
more
so much
affordable
more affordable
than a traditional language school
than traditional language school
or an in-person
or an in-person language teacher.
I tried out
I
italki
tried Italki to learn
to learn
a little bit
of Indonesian
before my
for my
holiday
holiday to Bali,
to
and I was
Bali, and I was blown away. My teacher,
blown away
she
by my
was
teacher.
amazing.
She was amazing. She had created
She has created beautifully
beautiful classes
classes
from
from scratch,
and I learned so
and learned so
much
much
with her, and
with
it
her.
really
I really
improved my holiday.
improved my holiday,
Especially
especially
she taught me to say
she taught me to say
"sayamau"
for Vero
nasi
language
goreng.
so important.
italki have given me a
Italki
special offer to
have Italki has happened me a special often to ask to you.
pass on to you.
You can guess
You can get $10 worth of
$10
italki credits
of Italki credits
for
for
free
free
when you sign up
when you sign up
make your first
and make
lesson
your first lesson
purchase.
purchase.
All you have to do is click on the link
All you have to do is just click on the link
in the description box.
in the description box.
Now, obviously,
Now, obviously,
having
having
a
a
paid
paid
for
for
lesson
lesson with a teacher every
every single
single day
day would be the most
would be the most amazing
way
way
to learn a language.
to learn
That's
language,
not a
but that's not possible for
possibility for
everyone.
So I did just want
So I did just want to
to
mention
mention italki's
Italki languages exchange partner
program. The link to
program.
this is
The link to this is also
in the description box.
in description box.
Basically, you
Basically, you can
search
search
for
for
speakers of the language you
speaker
are
of the language you can
learning, see if they want to
see if they want to learn your
learn
language,
your language, and if so,
and if so, You can
contact them and
contact them
potentially
and protestantly
arrange a language
arrange
exchange.
a language exchange.
So a combination of both
paid
paid for classes
for
and language
classes and language exchange would
exchanges
be
would be
amazing
because you can take
because it can take what you
what you've
learned
learned and heard in the
or heard in the language
language exchange
exchange
and
and verify
it with your
it with your teacher
teacher for an extra layer
for an extra layer
of security
of security
to make sure that you're not
to make sure that you're not making any mistakes.
Now, on to tip number
Now, on to tip number
three.
3,
Set yourself
set yourself
a
a daily word goal.
Learn
Learn
X amount of words
X amount of words every single day.
This tip is really
This tip is really important because it also links to tip number 4.
I have mentioned this
I have mentioned
strategy
it strategy
in a previous video.
in a previous
But
video,
I actually have a
but I actually have a really important
extra
HR
layer
learner
strategy that I
to his tractor, says I would like to discuss with
in
you.
order to build
In order to build
your
your vocabulary quickly,
you need to
learn
learn
at least one new
a
word
day,
per day, but hopefully more than that.
I've spoken to you
I've spoken to you before about keeping a work diary
or just a notebook
for just a notebook or a list on your phone.
Keep it with you all the
Keep it with you all the
time
time
and always be aware
and always be aware whenever
wherever you are.
you were. Do I know
I know that word in English.
the word English?
Do I know how to say
Do you know how to say that
that in
English?
You might see a tree.
You might see a
Do I
tree.
know how to
Do you know how to say
that specific
specific variety of tree
tree
in English?
If you don't,
You don't
write it down
in our
in your own
language
language in this book
in the book in this list,
and then at the end
and then at the end
of the day
before you go to sleep, research all of these words
and
translate them into English.
It will help you
Will help to change
train your
brain to always be hungry for English. After a few weeks, you will always be looking for new words that you can learn. Words that you
didn't even realize
you didn't know.
Now there is something
Now there's something else
else that you can do with
that you can do with
these words.
the words.
And
this brings me on point number 4.
Write a daily journal.
Write a daily journal is a difference. Depending on your level,
I would
buy a paper journal, a diary.
I get
so tired in the evening. I can spend a lot of time waiting. So I personally would buy a work week planner or a homework planner or study planner where got all 7 days across 2 days. In each 2 days, I will write 3 or 4 sentences about my day, trying to incorporate those words that I learn in my daily word list. The words I meant in point 3. That way, not only are you learning new words and learning that they mean,
but you're making sure that
you are making sure they are finally
fully integrated into your
integrated into your brain. And also doing this before you go to sleep. We mean they stick in there even more.
Then you can
So you can wake in the morning,
read what you wrote the night before,
read what you the night before,
and you've got those words
and you got this word
fresh
fresh
in your
in your head,
ready for the day
ready for the day ahead.
It's honestly
It honestly
such a fabulous
a fabulous
technique
because
it fills
we
your
use in your vocabulary,
it improves your
improves your writing skills,
it improves your
improves your reading skills.
reading skills. If you search the
You says the pronunciation
of the word, it will
is improve the
improve your pronunciation and your
listening
skills.
skills.
And if you book in
You
sessions with
in a session with language
teachers, you can
teachers,
have them correct
you can have them
your writing.
correct
So
in your writing. So every week you can
bring
bring them to fresh
pages of writing for them to correct. Honestly, if you do
Honestly, if you do
this
this every day,
it will help you so much.
it will help you so much.
Right.
Alright.
Time for the last
of
point.
the last point.
Point number 5.
Point number 5.
The tip is
The tip is to perform daily translation of success
you are interested
in. Now I know a lot of you I want to start translating I think in English. However, I think translation forms
a very, very
a very important part of language learning, especially when it's around something that you interested in.
It's really, really good
It's very good to compare how things are said in different languages, and translation helps you with that. In my opinion, the best way
the best way to practice your
to
translation
practice the translation
is absolutely free,
in a sport race, which is
which is
fantastic,
fantastic, and it's
right here on YouTube.
Pick the YouTubers that you
Pick YouTubers that you really like.
YouTubers that
These YouTubers just talk about subjects that you were interested in.
maybe it's photography,
Maybe it's a program, maybe technology, maybe it's pets, maybe makeup.
You can actually
You can actually contribute to some translation.
You may have seen that
You might have seen that
underneath all
our
my videos,
videos.
where
I have a link when I give
the opportunity
the opportunity
contribute
to contribute subtitle
translations.
translation.
So I write the subtitles in English, and then
So I write the subtitle in English,
you can write them in your own
and then you can write them in your own language. It's amazing because it helps me videos reach and help a wide audience. They also get their name displayed under the video, which really cool.
and
it helps their translating skills. You can translate video from the native language
into English. That would be
into
a really
English.
good way
That would be a really good way to practice. But even translating
English
subtitle into your own native language
is a really good
is a very good reading and translation exercise.
I will post a link
I will post a link
with more
with more information
community subtitle
on community subtitle translation
in the description
in the persistent box.
Right,
I have
discussed
all 5 boys.
I really hope you've learned something.
I really hope you try one of my 5 common directions.
I really hope you try out one of my 5 recommendations. Don't forget to check out italki. The link is in the description.
The link in the description
box. You can get $10 worth of italki.
and you can get $10 worth of Atari credits
Credits for free when
for free when you make your first
you make
lesson
your first lesson purchase. There's also
purchase.
links to listen to the
And there are also links to listen to lectures,
archers and also the information
and also the information to
on subtitles. Don't
subtitles.
forget to check out
Don't forget check out
all of my social
my
media.
social
I've got my
media.
Facebook,
I will post my Facebook.
I've got my Instagram,
I will post my Instagram,
and I've got my Twitter.
and I got my Twitter.
And I shall see you
And so see you soon
for another lesson.
for another lesson.
Learning a language is like
Learning language is like learning
a musical.
a musical.
Soap opera is
Soap opera, your
drama
serial.
Cornflakes! Oh dear.
Oh dear. Right before I get too
passionate,
let's move on to episode.
They're an online
They are online database, a platform,
of latent blah blah blah.
a latent blah blah blah,
Online language teachers.
online language teacher platform. All you have to do is click on the
All you have to do is click on the description in the link box.
description in the green book.
Wrong.
No, that's wrong.
Damn it, I was doing so
That means I was doing so well.